While attending the University of Washington at age 19, she was scouted and flown out to New York City to be a part of the ABC soap opera One Life to Live. She soon fell in love with the city and decided to stay and pursue an acting career. By her mid-20s, she was able to live on her acting income. But her breakthrough role came with the role of Michelle Dessler on the hit show 24. She has also had ongoing roles on ER, Lost, Damages, Hawaii Five-0, and has worked on many other television shows, films, and plays. Her name is Reiko Aylesworth, and this is the Antaeus Sessions. Reiko, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We're going to find out about why you do theater, why you do television, all that stuff. But first, take us back to before you got scouted for the soap opera. And at what point did you decide, you know what, I really am interested in theater and acting?
Well, honestly, I never really decided it. It kind of came my way. I was studying science. I wanted to go into neuroscience, and that's what I was intending when I started university, and then I was scouted and kind of plucked out and said, well, you have this opportunity to go to New York and work out there and make some money to earn for college, and so I took it, and it was mostly about an adventure to New York when I was about 19, and it turned into this thing that I love, and I still didn't quite decide to do it even though I loved it. And I kept thinking, well, I'll go back, but I just became addicted. That's really, I kept thinking, I'm gonna leave it any day now, but I just couldn't.
So you had been acting, but also working. When you finally got to that point where you were making a living as an actor, what was that like? Because that's kind of the dream for a lot of people.
I love that you asked that, because it's not a foregone conclusion at all. And that's part of one of the decisions we have to make, because not only that, it's a kind of business where, you know, do you want to enter into this, where it really, unlike other professions where you get better at it, you get more experience, and you get more work, and that's sort of the trajectory. And in acting, it really, it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of, I'm not saying talent doesn't have anything to do with it, but it really is, do you fit what's out there? And you have less self-determination, and it's something you have to give over. I heard a great explanation from a psychologist who specialized in people in the arts, and he said it's like being at the slot machines, and you just keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and then someone wins next to you, and you think, right when you're about to give up, you think, oh, it can happen. So you keep going, and you keep going, and sometimes you get a little bit, and then you get a little, so it's not only do you love it, but can you take on this lifestyle? And I used to say with theater, one of the things I love about theater was the hours. And as having kids now, it's like, no, the hours aren't, that's not the appeal anymore. No, I mean, what I love about theater and TV, it's both of them, and film, all of them, in different ways. It's such an actor's medium to come back to the stage. It's great. You didn't even ask me that, but I'm going to answer it.
No, that was that's where we were going next, because you, many people are going to recognize you from 24. You had a very important role in that show for quite a long time. But you're here in this small, intimate theater. So what's the difference? Why come back to something like this when you're a nationally known actress?
It's it is an actor's medium, and there's so many factors when you do film and TV. And I love the collaborative work on film and TV. A lot of it's left up to the director, the lighting, the key grip, the DP, and most importantly, the editor. Your performance is a lot determined for the editor, and I love that, and I love knowing more about that, and I have so much respect for that. But ultimately, when you're on stage, it's you. So and you have the time to really cultivate and hone the performance as well. So I love it, and exercising those muscles. I love film and TV as well, but there are different muscles to exercise. And what's so great is to come back to an intimate theater and an intimate space that, so you don't have to play to the back row of a 2,000 seat theater. You can really make subtle choices that you're just not allowed to really, that you can't in a bigger theater. So, and it's such a brilliant play, a nuanced play, that I think it really lends itself to a smaller space.
Now the play you're talking about.
Hey, I'm gonna make you do it because.
Pretend I'm saying this in French. Dangerous Liaisons.
Okay.
Okay,
fair enough.
Liaisons Dangereuses. That's so bad. I apologize.
We do have a French actor in this who can. Yeah, but
I'm
not even.
Well, that was a question I was going to get to later, but are you doing French accents in the show?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, we have to learn enough for
the pronunciation.
Pronunciations, but we are definitely not doing French accents, as that's not really what it's about either. And the play itself was written by a Brit, so we'd be Americans doing a British version of a French, so it's, yeah.
Great. Now, the way Antaeus has done their shows is they have two casts. Mm-hmm. That's fairly unique. How do you feel about that? Do you watch your counterpart and be like, oh, that's an interesting decision, or is there dialogue there? How has the two cast system affected your portrayal of your character?
It's totally new, and it's great, and it's great, and it's also difficult. Like, the person I've become the closest with in this is the one person I will never work with. Antaeus Merteuil, who's brilliant, and yes, we steal from each other, and we've had so much dialogue. And really, it's interesting because usually your scene partners, you finish the scene, you do the work, and then you go and huddle with them. And we realized at a certain point, we've got to start doing that because we're not actually going to be working with each other. We've just been huddling with each other. And I really, we both have resolved. We really hope to work together at some point because I just adore her, and she's just been a fantastic partner in this. But that realization, and I knew it from the beginning, but that, when it really sinks in, that the person you become the closest with and have the best working relationship is the one person you're not going to work with ever in this show. So yeah, there are some frustrations in that, and some great things. I mean, again, as a parent, it's really great to have a day on, a day off, a day on, a day off. It's it can be pretty grueling to have every night out or all the performances when you have a kid. Not so much grueling, but you want to have some time with your kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean, some of the frustrations are that you get half the time in some ways, and you really have to make sure that you get equal time, and also so you can cross, you have to make some compromises, because you want to make sure you don't really have control over it, but it's really great to have a great scene partner, which I do. Not scene partner, cast partner? I don't know what we call each other. Role partner? Role partner, thank you. Yeah. I've never had to label it before. But yeah, so it's a completely different way to work, and there are some frustrations in it. But I've mostly found it to be really wonderful and strangely liberating to have somebody else to share it with.
Last question, specifically about the show. When you were auditioning, what about this show? Because they have a whole season. There's a lot of you can obviously pick what you're auditioning for. What about this show where you're like, yeah, I really want to be in that play?
Honestly, I walked into the audition. I was Bill Bostrup, wonderful Bill Bostrup. He asked me to come in, and I came in from Merteuil, and I walked in the room, and I said, okay, we have completely exited my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is way back there, and I'm so I'm going to give it a go. But this is not, and they disagreed. So, and even when the director, when Robin called me up and said, I'd like you to play Merteuil, I've never done this before, but I said, are you sure? I seriously, because, there's a way to go with this role. And there are people that are really good at playing more of a villain, and if that's, finding all that, but that's not my bag. So, I think I've been able to find, something that's unexpected and very human about this character, I hope. And it was a play also that I went in not completely relating to or understanding, which terrified me, but I think ended up being the best way to go into this play.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. So you can actually catch Reiko right now. Dangerous Liaisons is currently playing at Antaeus. You can get your tickets. You can come see her. Check the cast though, because like we were talking about, there are 2 casts. So make sure and do that.
Both.
See them both.
Fantastic.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.